Presents the Midwest #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and in West Des Moines, Iowa as well. The number to join us on the program this morning, if you have a question or a comment for the show, 888-250-2091. 888-250-2091. All right, so we got a busy show for you guys today. There was quite a bit that's happened in the last week here, and going through it and sorting it down to something that would just fit into an hour was a real challenge this week. There are weeks where I look at the news of the week, like the 4th of July weekend, and I was like, this is awful. Like, it's just a list of things you can buy for Prime Day coming up. Like, nobody cares. Okay. This week, though, there's quite a bit of news. So we're going to go over the highlights, the important stuff with you, make sure that you've done all the basics, and then we'll, of course, have an aftershock after the conclusion of the program at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where you can watch there if you'd like to as well. So, golly, I have to tell you guys, this week I've been in all the service centers. Literally made the entire rounds this week to every service center, and universally they are all picking up. So this is normal for the seasonal activity that we normally see. We had our doldrums going through the holiday, and now as we get closer to back to school, we will continue to pick up as people come in for maintenance checkups. Kids get ready to go off to college. Parents are buying computers for college, things like that. It's just the nature of the business. So if you do have a prepaid maintenance certificate, if you have something you've been kind of waiting to get in on, turnaround times are excellent right now. We have open bench spots in all the service centers still. That may not be the case in another couple of weeks. So if you want to get in and get your computer turned around really quickly, now is a great time to bring it in and take advantage of those certificates and things that you've already paid for to get those done over at Schrock. Last week on the program, if you missed the show, you can catch it on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. Also, the video's up on our YouTube channel, our Rumble channel, Facebook channels, and all the channels. There's channels everywhere. You can't get it on Netflix. We're not there. Last week on the program, we talked a little bit about all the people who are upgrading their older PCs to Windows 11. A couple of weeks ago, I asked, if you haven't done it yet, why haven't you done it yet? And I got some really interesting results from that question. We had people that called in with specific technical compatibility issues. They had older equipment that wasn't Windows 11 compatible necessarily, or was glitchy with Windows 11, and they didn't want to deal with that. So they were going to, go as long as they could on Windows 10. For those of you who don't know, you can use your Windows 10 computers until 2025, and then Windows 10 will be retired, and you'll have to move to Windows 11 at that point. So I decided to actually take a look at the data. Let's take a look and see, because we're seeing, I would say each service center is seeing maybe one customer every 2 days that comes in who's like, I'd like to take my computer and upgrade it to Windows 11, but it's not compatible, so let's make it compatible. It's a Schrock modular desktop. So I tasked Alfonso, our brainiac over at Schrock Interactive, to go through the data, go through the database, and tell me all the customers who have Schrock-built computers that are close to being Windows 11 compatible but not quite there, and then also customers who are Windows 11 compatible but haven't upgraded yet. And ironically, the list is split almost evenly. We have about 1,000 customers that are going to be receiving contacts from us. We're sending out emails. We may do an automated phone call, guys. It's just 1,000 people is a lot of people for me to sit Eli down and say, call these 1,000 people and talk to them. But if it's something you want to do, great. If it's something you don't want to do, totally understand. You don't have to do it right now. Like I said, your computer works great until 2025. But for most people who bought a holiday special, for example, let's say you bought a holiday special 5 years ago. You're going to get 2 more years out of it, and then you're going to have to retire it and buy another one for $1,600. Or for less than half that price, you can get it upgraded to Windows 11 and continue to use it for another decade. I mean, the choices, when we put the choices out like that, especially to people with holiday specials, it becomes a little more clear. Like, wow, this is something I should really do. Furthermore, there's a discount right now through the end of the month where you save an hour of labor off the normal 2 hours to do the upgrade. So it saves you $125 to do it this month because, hey, we're slow this month. We said, let's get some stuff on the bench. We have the idle capacity rather than having all these jobs come in when we're really busy and having, everybody working as hard and as fast as they can, turnaround times being what they are. We have idle capacity right now. Let's go ahead and use that to get these Windows 11 upgrades done. So we decided to put it out there on special through the end of the month. Why through the end of the month? As we're going to talk about later in the program here, we've got a slew of news coming starting next month. Things are going to start to get really hairy for Windows 10 and Windows 11 users with the upgrades and version changes and things like that are coming. A lot of firsts, a lot of new things, a lot of unknowns. And it's getting more unknown as we get closer to it, not less, which is kind of ironic. Microsoft is actually muddying the scene rather than clarifying it as the event gets closer. So if you're going to do this, now is the time to do it. And so we said, let's generate a list. Let's sit down. Let's see how many customers we're actually talking about who have Schrock modular computers, for those of you in the technical world, that are based on AM4 motherboards. So give me all the people who have AM4 motherboards with third generation chips. Those are people who just need a software update. Now, your computer may report that it is not Windows 11 compatible, even if you have the right motherboard and the right chip, because the settings in the BIOS are not set to allow Windows 11 upgrade. It wasn't something that we proactively, changed or prohibited. We didn't know the requirements for Windows 11 when we built the computers either. And so Microsoft came up with all these new requirements that in the past had never been a concern before. And now all of a sudden, if your BIOS is not set properly, if the software settings in your computer's BIOS are not set right, your computer will report that it is not Windows 11 compatible. Not because you have the wrong hardware, just because a setting is wrong. And that's just silly. So we have a whole list of 540 Schrock customers that have a setting wrong. And that's why they have not been able to go to Windows 11. That doesn't mean all 540 of them want to go to Windows 11. That just means there's 540 people who could go there, who could save basically half the cost of upgrading if they do it this month. We should probably let them know. Now, the other 460 some odd people that we've got, they have the right memory, the right motherboard, but they have the wrong chips. And so they're going to need a processor. They're going to need a piece of hardware as well as a software upgrade. Now, one of the things that's been a real challenge, as you guys know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know about the chip shortage. Chips have been problematic. Now, it's gotten a little bit easier for some chips. Our low-end Intel chips, so we can get those again pretty reliably, and the prices are trending down on those, actually. Ryzen chips, the price they're holding steady, and literally go to Amazon.com and go try to buy a Ryzen 3 chip. You can't. You literally can't. Go buy a Ryzen 5. Your quantity limit, 1. Because there's just not that many of them. Now, once you get up into the Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9, Threadrippers, the $900 chips, well, those you can buy those all day long. Those are available. That's because no one's buying the $900 chips in a recessionary environment. Everybody wants the $300 chips, which are gone. So literally we are hand to mouth at Schrock right now as we're ordering these in. I'm scouring the internet, scouring our suppliers, buying wherever I can buy to make sure that we've got these processors on hand for you when you decide to come in and do your upgrade. So for those of you who have the right board, but the wrong chip, we're ordering chips in, and we're going to be contacting you as well. You're going to receive, on Tuesday, we're going to send an email to all 1,000-ish people that basically says, hey, there's a discount. You get 50% off the labor. You may only need a settings change. You may need one piece of hardware. Give us a call. We'll give you an estimate over the phone. The reason we're doing it this way is we don't want to bother the people that don't want to be bothered, right? There are people who I bought a computer. I'm happy with the computer. Leave me alone. Totally get it. Not a problem. So we're going to leave you alone. We're just going to send you an email that says, hey, you could do this. If you're interested to learn more, give us a call. When you give us a call in the service center, we can look up your computer in our online system. Since we built it, we know what parts went into it, and we can tell you, okay, you're going to need a chip. You're going to possibly need a motherboard. Your memory should be okay. and and so on and so forth. Now we have customers. I had this week. It was kind of funny in Papillion. It was like the week of the 2017 holiday special. We had two 2017 holiday specials arrive almost back to back on the bench. Like, it was to the point where I was confused. Like, didn't we just finish this computer yesterday? And they're like, no, so that's a different 2017 holiday special. Oh, okay. So that was fun. But basically, the 2017 holiday special was built before Ryzen chips existed. It was built on the AM3 technology as opposed to the AM4 technology. So these customers, they needed the full boat. They needed a whole core replacement, a motherboard, a processor, memory. They needed everything. And the cost of the upgrade was still less than half of them buying a new holiday special. And on top of that, they're getting the same tech that we're going to be putting in the holiday special this year at the end of the year. So it's, like I said, it's one of those things where if we don't tell people about it and they find out later there was a special, they're going to be like me. I sent in, okay, so my 23andMe, I did my 23andMe years ago, right? Well, the technology, the genome sequencing, I don't know, there's a new chip or something, and they can tell you more if you send in another sample. Okay. So I'm like, okay, so I order my tube, I pay my $110, I spit in the tube, and I send it in. And then 3 days later, on freaking Prime Day, they're 50% off. And you know what? It peeved me. What do you think I was going to say? It peeved me a little bit that I could have saved $60 if I would have just waited 3 days, but I didn't know. And our customers feel the same way. They get a little peeved if they find out that if they would have waited 3 days or they would just missed a sale or something like that. So if you get a call from us, if you get an email with us, if you're not interested, totally understand. But if it's something you're interested in, I would encourage you to move in the month of July because you're going to save a boatload of money. 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program. Now, other things coming up on the program today. You may not have realized it, but this week was Patch Tuesday. Yeah, it was Patch Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month. Huge Patch Tuesday. So if you haven't rebooted your computer yet, it's really important that you do that. So we're going to go over what actually came down on Patch Tuesday. There were some zero-day vulnerabilities being actively exploited out there. So this is a big one. So we want to make sure you get that, especially if you administer other people's computers. If you work at a company where you're a network administrator or you know the network administrator, there were some server updates that you absolutely need to do that are mission critical right now. So we're going to tell you about those. Microsoft is going to muddy all the waters up by messing with the upgrade schedule again. As you may have realized in the past, twice a year, Microsoft has done these upgrades, these feature updates, which are basically new versions of Windows. So if you have Windows 10, you don't have the same Windows 10 that you had 5 years ago. You have a completely different operating system. You may as well have Windows 18 because it's completely different than what you had 5 years ago. Because every year twice a year, you're getting a new operating system. Well, Microsoft said, hey, we're going to slow that down to once a year when Windows 11 comes out. And everybody rejoiced. They're like, oh my gosh, you only have to buy Safe Upgrade once a year instead of twice a year, which is great. If you're a network administrator administering thousands of computers, you're like, thank the sweet baby Jesus that I don't have to do this every 6 months now, every year. So much cost savings. So everyone was happy about that. In fact, next month is when we expect to start talking about the new Safe Upgrade, because we're expecting a September release for this year for the new version of Windows 11 as well as the new version of Windows 10. Problem is Microsoft now has decided that that schedule is not clear enough, and we're going to introduce a concept called Microsoft Moments, which I don't know what PR rocket scientist thought of calling it that. Your Microsoft, kind of like a senior moment. Is it like a Microsoft moment? Like, when your computer blue screens after an update you didn't really want or need, and then Microsoft moment. I mean, come on, this is going to be meme worthy. Well, yes, Microsoft is introducing Microsoft Moments, where they will introduce new features to you quarterly, every 3 months on your computer, with a large new version upgrade once every 3 years. So this is, I guess, when I'm confronted with a complex situation, oftentimes I will try to take a step back to see how that complex situation fits into the larger scheme of things. And that will help me put it in perspective and give me a better idea of what I'm dealing with. So if we take a step back from the Microsoft mess and we say, On the landscape, what are we looking at here? We have a certain number of updates that need to happen. And whether we divide them annually, or quarterly, or biannually, or every 3 years, the same number of updates are going to happen in roughly the same amount of time. You do the math on what a pain in the tuchus that's going to be. So we're going to tell you the details behind that story coming up on the program today. Also, Intel has a warning that they're pushing out about their processors that I'm sure is not going to be unique. And so we're going to tell you what's going on there. They expect this in the third quarter, actually. So that's coming up here. Let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, so third quarter calendar we're in right now. Fiscally, I think we have another 15 days or so before we're in the third quarter fiscally. But they expect third quarter to have some pricing changes coming to Intel processors. So interesting world we're living in right now. 888-250-2091. Last thing I want to mention, because, obviously this show is designed to inform, entertain, and promote Schrock Innovations products and services so that you might choose to patronize us with your business. We'd like you to spend money with us. However, from time to time, we do like to give away things for free. This is one of those times. So if you are in the market for a new laptop computer and you're interested in a Schrock solid-state laptop, we're going to be giving away one Resolute laptop to one lucky person who votes in the Best of Omaha competition. You can go to our Facebook page right now at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, and you can see the link right there, right underneath this video. There's a link that you can click on that'll take you to our page, and you go vote in the Best of Omaha competition. When you click that link and vote in the competition, you will be entered to win a Schrock a Schrock solid-state laptop. We don't want to do the modular computer because it doesn't come with a monitor. We want to do a complete prize, so the laptop is a complete prize. It's got the monitor, the keyboard, everything, all contained, one Resolute laptop, $600 value, giving it away absolutely free. All you have to do is vote in the Best of Omaha. Now, when you click our link to go vote in the Best of Omaha, it gets you entered to win the laptop. We don't know who you vote for. Obviously, we hope you would vote for Schrock, but if you vote for best florist and best Mexican restaurant and best pet podiatrist out there, you vote for all those different categories. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. It just came out. Do pets have podiatrists? I don't know. So anyway, well, pets got feet. Why? They got toes. It's the Good Feet Pet Store. But anyway, I digress. The long story short here, guys, is if you go vote in the competition, you're entered to win regardless of who you vote for. So we, of course, hope you vote for Schrock, but go to facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, click the link there on the page, and enter the competition by voting in the Best of Omaha. We did send an email out to everyone. All Schrock customers got the email. There was like 16,000 valid emails. We do filter out invalid emails. If we get a bounce or an error or something, we filter them out. So every time we send an email, we filter out some addresses that are not valid. But basically 16,000 delivered emails this last week. And basically my wife stops me because I usually the one that ends up posting stuff to the Facebook page, and I just kind of forgot this week and didn't post anything till like the end of the week. And my wife says, "Thor, what are you doing on Facebook right now? Because it is absolutely blowing up." And I'm like, I didn't post anything on Facebook. Like, did we get hacked? Like, oh wait, no. It's the Best of Omaha. There, people are looking for information on how to win the free laptop. And she's like, oh, got it. So yeah, so you can win that free laptop. All you have to do is go to facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, click on the link there to basically vote in the Best of Omaha, and you're registered to win the free laptop from Schrock Innovations. 888-250-2091. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, Patch Tuesday, what you need to know, what you need to do. We'll tell you coming up next on Compute This.
Third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs, and all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Number to join us on the program today, 888-250-2091. As we do at the conclusion of many of the programs here, after the show is over with, we will do a second show called the After Schrock that airs live. You can watch this show live at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. The After Schrock will also be live at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. If you don't do the Facebooky thing, we will put the video up on Rumble and YouTube and everywhere else later on, usually by the end of the day, Monday. The After Schrock is for things that don't fit in the show. Things that would normally be like things that Roger and I are talking about off the air, you know, when like in a commercial break or something, like, you know, how the company name could have very easily have been Schrock Innovations, you know, and why is that? How could that have happened? So, all these things that don't fit into the show, we'll talk about them during the After Schrock, and that's how you got your show back. Because otherwise I'd try to cram all these things in and they had no relevance to anything. And you're like, what is he talking about? Now we just throw all the irrelevant stuff into the After Schrock, and for some reason it seems to be more popular than the main program. I don't understand. But the stuff that doesn't matter is what you guys like, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I've got it backwards. Maybe I should do the computer stuff in the After Schrock and do the other stuff now. I don't know. 888-250-2091. All righty. So this Tuesday was Patch Tuesday. So your computer may be asking you right now to reboot. You may have a little symbol down in the lower right-hand corner by your clock that looks like a couple arrows with a dot in the middle of them. And that's telling you it's time to reboot the computer because there are 84 patches that were available on this Patch Tuesday. That is a huge, 86. Sorry, I was too short. 86 patches were issued to correct flaws. 4 of them were critical, and 1 was being actively used in attacks right now. The one that was being actively used in attacks was a server exploit that was allowing an attacker to basically get complete administrative privileges to a server. Anyone who's ever worked on a server knows that is an absolute nightmare. If that happens to your server, you're in a boatload of trouble. So long story short, if you have a server, people don't like to reboot servers because servers serve people information. So when you reboot a server, it stops serving. This is like in the middle of your dinner when your waiter goes out for a cigarette break and doesn't come back for a half an hour. And you're like, my water is empty. I need a refill. And there's nobody there to do it. that's kind of like what happens when you reboot the server. It takes forever for it to reboot, and then when it comes back up, sometimes things don't work right, and you got to figure it all out, and it's a big nightmare. You don't want to do it on a Friday at 4 o'clock before it's time to go home for the weekend. Let's put it that way. So if you're an IT administrator, you know all this already. You've probably already dealt with it and rebooted it. If you recently cut your network administrator because of budgetary concerns, you want to reboot your server now, please. Thank you. Yes and no. Right now, go do it. Because this attack, when I say somebody can get complete administrative privileges on the server, what that means is a person can get access to the server using any low-level credential, a guest credential, and then they can elevate themselves to be the network administrator, at which point they can uninstall the antivirus software, they can install ransomware infection, they can access, because the server is in essence connected to every computer on the network, they can access every computer on the network and do this to every system on your network. This is how, especially over a weekend, this is how ransomware attacks happen. It takes about 72 hours for a full ransomware attack to really take root and be noticed by people. So the bad guys like to launch them Friday nights so that Monday morning when you come in, your whole network is clogged up. So now I've got network administrators sitting there kind of rocking a little bit like, oh, crap, did I reboot that before I left on Friday? But for those of us who are home users, the majority of us listening, rebooting your computer is usually sufficient. Now, there are some cases where your computer is not properly downloading Windows updates the way it's supposed to. Unfortunately, there's not an alert. Microsoft doesn't pop up and say, hey, you're behind on your updates. So to deal with this, what you need to do is you need to check yourself to see if you're behind on your updates. And it's really easy to do. If you're running Windows 11, you click the Start button, and then you click on the gear for settings. And then right on the left side in the menu, it says Windows Update. You just left click on Windows Update, and it's going to check to see if there are any updates. I'm going to check mine right now. Checking for updates. It's thinking, I'm thinking, and it's going to come back and it's going to tell me all my updates are good. Now, sometimes it'll come back and tell you that there are additional updates available. There are, for example, hardware or optional updates. You definitely want to do these updates. They're not critical. In other words, they're not things that are that are security related, but they are stability related. They are things that you want. If you brought it in for a maintenance checkup, we would do them. Let's put it that way. So if you see optional updates, go ahead and do those as well. All right, so there's your Patch Tuesday update. Make sure you reboot your computers if you haven't done so already. Keep them safe, keep them secure. 888-250-2091. Going to take our bottom of the hour break, but when we come back, Microsoft is messing with the patching schedule now. And so we're going to tell you what we know, what we expect, and what we think is going to happen, which could be completely wrong because Microsoft is not telling us anything. But we'll tell you what we do know coming up next on Compute This.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. And now Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier. So take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. Officials say President Biden's just completed trip to the Mideast was about more than just oil.
Middle East meetings, however, came at a time to curb Iran's ambitions and monitor the influence of China and Russia.
Fox's Alex Hogan. The people of a town where a recent school massacre took place are being given the chance to watch some very disturbing video today.
Residents and neighbors in Uvalde, Texas, will be given a chance to watch the 77 minutes of compiled video taken from inside and around Robb Elementary School the day a teenage gunman stormed the school. The portion of the video had been leaked to a newspaper which published it. The video depicts police officers in many moments standing around, not in a ready position, not pursuing the gunman or attempting to rescue victims.
Fox's Eben Brown. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
A few clouds and fog, but otherwise becoming sunny. A high this Sunday in Omaha at 88. Tonight, clear, a low of 68. Monday, sunshine and 94. Tuesday, a little bit more of a breeze, but sunny and hot with a high of 99. There's your forecast. I'm Roger Olson.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. Thank you for sticking with us through the bottom of the hour break. I appreciate you hanging on there. Number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. Of course, my name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We've got 4 locations to help you out when your computer is having troubles. In Lincoln, the original location, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. In Omaha, 168th and Burke, across the street from the Village Point Mall. In Papillion, 84th and Highway 370. And, of course, in West Des Moines, Iowa, 9500 University Avenue, where you can drop your computer off or have it serviced there in the new Des Moines Service Center. All right, 888-250-2091. Don, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Thor, thank you. I have a 2013 holiday special, which I've been very happy with, almost flawless performance.
For 9 years?
About 2 years ago, you installed a solid-state hard drive, and I was wondering if it would be available for or eligible for the Windows 11 upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, so there's basically 2 different classifications of customers. There's customers who need the full boat to do the upgrade. They're going to need the motherboard, the memory, and the processor. They're going to need all 3 hardware parts and then the installation. And then there's customers who are going to need less than the full boat. The email that we're sending out to customers is just going out to customers who need less than the full boat. So in your case, you'd need to have the upgrades done, but the cost of doing the upgrades is less than half of what you're going to be looking at for buying a new holiday special. And like I said, it's going to bring, your computer's 9 years old. The hard drive's only 2 years old. Of course, we're going to test everything when it comes in to make sure that everything is good to go. But I mean, yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing that we've been seeing in the service centers. And like I said, about 1 per service center every couple days. So pretty much every day of the week, I've got 1 or 2 employees contacting me, asking me, when is the next Ryzen chip coming? Because literally I'm getting them as fast as I can possibly get them. And they're hand to mouth. They're going out the door like as soon as we get them into the shop. So it's definitely something we could do for your computer. And I think, you know, once you had that upgrade done, you probably remember the speed increase you got with the solid state hard drive.
Sure, yeah. I do.
It's going to be like that again. In other words, another massive leap of speed like it was with the solid state hard drive. You're going to see a huge increase in the computing power of the computer, as well as compatibility with all the most recent hardware and software out there. So it's definitely something I would recommend. And it's definitely, like I said, half the price of buying a new holiday special. So if you're looking for a reason to buy this year's holiday special, you know, you've definitely got one. But if you're looking for a way to save like $700, upgrading it would definitely do that for you as well.
Sounds good to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Don. Have a great afternoon. And keep in mind, when you bring that in for upgrade, we are running a special right now where you can basically get, it's 2 hours of labor to do the upgrade. 1 hour for all the hardware, 1 hour for the installation of Windows 11. You get one of those hours for free right now through the end of the month if you get in before the end of July. So if you're going to do it, Don, I would do it this month to save that $125. Thanks for the call there. We appreciate it. B, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Good morning, Thor. Good morning. Good morning. I also have a 2013 holiday special.
See, this is just like a Papillion. This is the same thing that happened to me in the Papillion Service Center this week, but it was the 2017.
Yeah, no, 2013. And I've loved it, and I got a new solid state put into it. Anyway, I had it in this past week, for some maintenance issues and so forth. And Trenton at your Lincoln store was fantastic. He went the extra mile to help me understand some things that were going on with my computer, and also your special and all of that. So a real shout out to Trenton at your Lincoln store.
Well, thank you very much. I'll make sure he hears about that, because it's always great when we hear when things are going right, because you always hear when things don't go right, and that's good. We want to hear that. But when things go right, it makes you feel really, really warm and fuzzy. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. Have a great afternoon. Tom, welcome to the show. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Hey, thank you very much, and good morning. I have a 2016 special.
Yes.
And I think my question got answered from one of the previous callers, but there's special hardware that goes into this for the upgrade. I mean, Windows 11 won't download itself.
That's correct. So basically, Microsoft was incredibly restrictive when they released Windows 11, and they said if your computer was built with technology in the last 2 years, it'll be compatible. And anything older than that is just not compatible. Sorry, nothing you can do. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, excuse me. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I just was going to say, if you have an HP or a Dell, Microsoft's absolutely right. There's nothing you can do. It's not like you can bring your HP in and have us put a new motherboard in it, because it's custom. You can't do that. But when you have a Schrock modular PC, those computers are built to be upgraded. They're intentionally built that way. So when you come back in with your computer, for example, we can replace the motherboard, put a new processor on it with new memory, and it's like it literally is a brand new computer. And then, of course, we always will recommend putting an extended warranty on it if you don't have one on there. Well, again, I'll say it here so my guys don't have to say it. If we offer you an extended warranty, you are nuts if you don't take it.
I think I've got it.
Yeah, and you already have one, it would continue to cover you just the same. So the reason why I say it's nuts for those of you who don't have the warranty is because if you don't use the warranty, you get your money back, and the cost of the warranty is equal to the cost of an hour of labor. So no matter what goes wrong with your computer, you're going to spend at least an hour of labor for us to fix it. So if you have a problem, the warranty saves you money. If you don't have a problem, you get your money back. So that's why I say it's nuts if you don't do it. But we still have people who choose not to do it. It's got to be a scam. There's got to be a catch. Well, the catch is we keep you as a customer forever. Like we love you. We want to in a very creepy kind of way. We love you, Tom.
Well, I think I've got Secure Updater, but I keep getting a message on the screen every once in a while asking for a renewal. It's just a little small one in the middle of the screen.
Gotcha. Yep, that's your Secure Updater looking for a renewal.
But I think it's renewed, and I don't know why it's still showing up.
Okay, it's possible that your computer received an update, and it changed, basically, without getting into the technicals on it, it changed what we call the fingerprint of the computer. And so Secure Updater thinks that it's a new computer, but it's not. And that's something that we can resolve over the phone for you very easily. We just deactivate the quote-unquote old computer to make the license available, and then the next time you restart your computer, it logs in, uses the license, and goes to town. So that's definitely something. We just give us a call in the service center when we open, and then we can get that taken care of for you real easily.
Yeah. I think I'll try calling you guys early afternoon to try to set something up to get a maintenance thing done on it.
Sounds good. This is a good time to do it.
And then look into the upgrade also.
Sounds good. I will. I'm going to have to be. I'll be sitting on my couch scouring the world for processors this afternoon. Sounds like. Thank you for the call, Tom. I appreciate it. All right, 888-250-2091. Steve, welcome to the show. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Hi, Thor. Hey, I've got an HP. It's not one of yours.
Sure.
And it's not eligible for Windows 11. And I'm actually not looking to upgrade it. At some point in time, I work from home. At some point in time soon, my computer is supposed to be providing me with a system instead of having to use my old one.
Oh, nice.
So I want to help mine limp along until I get that replaced.
Yeah, it's a couple of years. I mean, it's not like a short amount of time here. You can get a lot of value out of that thing still.
Exactly. And I threw 16 gig of RAM, a few years ago when I first got the computer into it. So it's doing well. There's one little thing that's frustrating me though, and I don't know if you got a quick answer for this. When I participate in a Teams meeting, I see on my end, nobody else sees this, but it's like max headroom. Okay, the screen kind of shimmers, flickers, and I've got, I think, all the updates, but I'm just wondering, what might I be missing? Is this something I need to have somebody look at?
And it's a desktop or a laptop?
It's a desktop.
Okay. So
it's an i5 HP.
Gotcha. It shouldn't have any trouble with the Teams meeting. That's for sure, especially with 16 gigs of RAM. So if you're seeing visual distortions, typically that's traced to two different things. If it has a dedicated video card, the dedicated video card could be on board. Or it's on board. So then it could be the memory. If your memory, basically every time Windows 10 or Windows 11 loads on a computer, for security reasons, it loads to a randomized memory location. And Windows XP was incredibly predictable, and that's why it was able to get hacked so easily. So with Windows 10 and Windows 11, now they're randomized. So sometimes you're going to have situations, if you have a bad area of memory, with 16 gigs of RAM, you could go weeks and not even touch that bad area of memory and not even notice it's there because you never used it. But if you happen to start near that bad area, then you're going to see some weirdness. So if you're seeing is the shimmering every time, or is it just random?
You're right. There are times that it doesn't do it. And without getting too into the weeds, you know how Teams has that view where everyone looks like they're in a movie theater. So if I use that view, doesn't happen. Okay, but the little preview of me in the corner might be doing that. And if I'm in the full screen view, or somebody is presenting, it's likely going to happen. I can grab the edge of the app and just kind of wiggle it back and forth to resize the window, and it prevents it from doing it. But that's an annoyance.
Yeah, that is. Now, is it just your video that's flickering, or is it the participant's video that's flickering?
Correct. It's just me.
Okay. Could be the webcam too.
Oh, hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, so because you're using an external webcam because you're on a desktop. So I guess what I would suggest we do is, number one, if you have another webcam, that's an easy fix to try that. If you don't, the next thing is if you can bring it in for a maintenance checkup, you should have one every 6 months anyway. And big debate in our team this week as to whether or not we should be, being like the dentist, sending you the postcard every 6 months. It's time for your maintenance checkup, but you're supposed to get one every 6 months. And so if you haven't had one, testing the memory is part of the maintenance checkup. We'll do that as part of the checkup. If you bring your webcam in with it, we can also take a look at the Teams thing while we have it in there on the bench and see if we can get it to replicate and trace maybe what's causing the problem to happen. But that's where I would start. Is it's either going to be a memory situation or a webcam situation. Outside chance, it's a power supply, because HP power supplies, when they provide them to you in the computer, they're provided to run exactly what's in the computer. So when you increase things inside the HP computer, you actually are using more power, and as a result, the power supply is less tolerant of fluctuations. But I don't know why that would cause. I don't think that's going to cause a specific video issue. But if we see random issues with devices not working consistently, one of the first things we check is the power supply also. So that's also tested during a maintenance check, which is why I recommend that.
Makes sense. I mean, ever since I started working from home, I've been running on a hefty UPS just to just to give me, smooth, stable power at least. But
nice
yeah,
clean
the supply
power
itself can eventually die.
All right. Thank you for the call, Steve. I appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning on the program. 888-250-2091. So Microsoft's messing with its update schedule. I talked about this a little bit in the intro segment, but for years through Windows 10, Microsoft had updates every 6 months to the Windows 10 operating system. They were called feature updates. They called them feature updates. We called them upgrades because that's what they were. They were whole new versions of Windows 10 that were completely different versions than the ones you had. So you were installing a new operating system, migrating all of your information to it, and then rolling with the new operating system every 6 months. As a result, as what happens with operating system upgrades, there were glitches, there were problems, there were people who had bad experiences. And it happened to the same people over and over and over. And people started to get so upset. And they weren't upset with us. They were just upset with the situation. They had to keep coming in every 6 months and spending, $125, $250 with us to get their computer running again. So we were the people there to, we were the ones standing in front of you. So we kind of got yelled at. But we weren't yelling at us. And we knew that. We knew you were yelling at the situation. But all the same, we got your computer up and running for you. We said there has to be a better way. So we created a product called Safe Upgrade. Safe Upgrade installs these Windows updates for you in a safe and predictable way, the same way we do it in the Service Center, where we account for a ton of variables that Microsoft doesn't account for when they try to auto-install it on your computer, or worse yet, not auto-install it at all and just leave you exposed to security vulnerabilities. So, okay, well and good. Every 6 months, great. Windows 11 comes out. Windows 11, they say, guess what? There's only one per year. And guess what? For Windows 10, there's only going to be one per year. Great. We expect that in September. So your big annual, you got yourself an inflationary or deflationary savings there by not having to buy Safe Upgrade twice this year, right? So yay, everybody. That's great. Then Microsoft comes out with this story this week, introducing this concept called Microsoft Moments. Microsoft has begun muddying the waters around how and when it's planning to bring new features to Windows. Now it sounds as if quarterly new feature moments updates between major Windows updates could become the newest servicing roadmap. And like I said, I don't know what marketing rocket scientist decided to call it moments, because, when you have a Microsoft moment, when you get that Microsoft moment, let me just tell you, are you ready? Because it's going to cost you every 3 months now. Isn't that? I mean, are they trying to get us to make a subscription Safe Upgrade product for customers that specifically just guarantees updates? I mean, literally, is that where we have to go with this? I mean, that product is available for corporate clients, people that manage other people's IT infrastructure, manage their Windows updates. They have that feature, that service available. But it's one of those things where, there comes a line where I love being able to give my customers corporate grade antivirus because it's so much better and they just don't get infected. And you just swim along. You don't even know it. You don't even know it's working for you. It's just working. Corporate grade update protection? Really? Really? So I don't know what we're going to do with this. We're going to sit back and see what happens, because the thing in my brain here says there's going to be the same number of changes to Windows over a course of a year as there would be regardless of how they split these up into updates, whether it's twice a year, once a year, or 4 times a year. But long story short, we don't know what's going to happen yet. So we're not going to worry too much about it just yet, but we are going to keep our eye on this for you, because we know that there's a big update, the 22H2 update is coming out for Windows 11 and Windows 10 in September/October. So we're going to start talking about that in detail next month, what to expect, what's coming down, what's been in the preview builds, things like that. So we're going to start talking about that next month in more detail. But for now, just keep in the back of your head that Microsoft is really, these Microsoft moments, there's going to be a meme. There's going to be a meme. When you have a Microsoft moment and it's just a blue screen, it's going to be bad. 888-250-2091. We're going to take our final break of the program. When we come back, Intel has a warning for consumers about its microprocessors, and we're going to share that warning with you coming up next on Compute This.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, final segment of the show, but fear not, the Aftershock is coming, where we're going to tell you stories about how Schrock Innovations could have been called Schrog Innovations. And Skittles are unfit for human consumption, and you may be able to get a payday if you've ever eaten Skittles. Not the candy bar, actual money. 888-250-2091. Do we have one caller on there?
Oh, no, wait. Al.
Al? Yeah. Oh, Al, welcome to the program. Sorry about that, Al. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Well, a while back, one of your guys told me that the Asus Inspiron computer that I got from you guys in late 19 was not upgradable to Windows 11.
Right.
But I just caught the tail end of something you said a few minutes ago, and it sounds like maybe it is.
Well, the Inspiron is a laptop.
Or what, guy?
So the Inspiron's a laptop.
Pardon?
Your Inspiron is a laptop.
Yeah, it's a laptop.
And unfortunately, with a laptop, you've got what you've got in the laptop. There is no changing the processor, for example, and that's what Microsoft. That was the nasty thing that they did to everybody. They basically said, here's your processor. If your processor is more than 2 years old, you can't run Windows 11. Even if your processor can run Windows 11, like literally, there's 2 registry changes that we can make to your computer, and your computer will run Windows 11. Now the problem is though, every time they release an update, if we've kind of hacktivated your computer to run Windows 11, every time there's an update, it'll break it, and you'll have to come back in and pay us money to hack it again, and that's not a great long-term plan. And I can see some customers getting upset about that, but unfortunately, that with the laptops, there's nothing we can do to change the hardware, but with our desktops, we can change out the motherboards and basically upgrade the processors and do things like that we can't do with a laptop.
Okay, I was afraid that might be the answer.
I'm sorry. I wish I had a better one for you, but we are giving away a free laptop. If you go to facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, click on the link there to go vote for us in the Best of Omaha survey. You could win a whole new laptop that would come with Windows 11 on it.
But I don't do Facebook.
Well, you don't have to do Facebook. You just have to go there. You have to go there and click on it. Just click on the link. So you don't have to.
It'll still work.
Oh, yeah, it'll still work. You just go to facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. It'll show it to you. It'll pop up on the screen. Facebook is better when you log in, and you'll say, yeah, blah, 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 and you click the X, and then you click the link, and you register to win.
Okay, I'll give that a try.
Sounds good. Thanks for the call, Al. I appreciate it. Steve, welcome to the show. Final caller of the program today. How can I help you on Compute This?
Hi there. I got an email from Drive Advisor that says my e-drive is going bad. My health rating is 19%.
Oh, boy, that's not good.
And that's the only email I've got. I didn't get anything at 90 or 80 or 70. It just one day said 19%.
Yep, sometimes things just blow up, especially solid-state drives. That sounds like an external, so it's probably not a solid state. But things that can cause that to happen, a drop. If it fell over, and even just tipping over sideways, like from a standing position to falling over on its side on the desk, or you pounding on the desk is enough to cause a hard drive to fail if it's in use when those vibrations hit it.
It's a desktop that sits on the floor next to my computer desk. Doesn't get bumped or kicked or anything.
Yep, and then sometimes they just die. That's, mechanical things wear out, and that's what Drive Advisor is here to do. Because if you didn't have Drive Advisor right now, I mean, your e-drive is probably your backup drive, right?
Yes, but it's my main source of storage for my pictures.
Oh.
Because I have a solid state for C, and then I have a revolving for E.
Okay, so I would strive if you're using that drive for primary storage and it's failing at 19%. When we get below 50%, it gets questionable whether we can get the data off the drive without sending you to data recovery. So don't try to back it up. Don't try to transfer data off of it. I would shut the computer off. And if you can get that into us, let us try to clone the drive. The thing is, the more times you access that drive, the lower that health rating is going to get. And the lower it gets, the harder it becomes for us to access the drive. So if we can clone it for you, we can replace the hard drive with a new hard drive, clone it over, and everything is right as rain. But if that health rating drops too low before we get our hands on it, then all of a sudden you're in the lab for an $800 data recovery, and you don't want that.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll bring it into your Lincoln office this afternoon then so they can look at it.
Sounds good, Steve. Lincoln opens today at noon, so you should be able to pop in there anytime from noon to 5 on Sunday.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the call, Steve. I appreciate it. We did get you in the drawing as well for the Schrock Innovations $25 gift certificate. Steve, first Steve. We had two Steves. Steve ending in 6128. You're the winner. So, Steve, Marissa will get a hold of you on Monday and get you that added to your Schrock account. You can spend that anywhere you like. Also, make sure you stay tuned to the After Schrock, where we're going to tell you about how Skittles are changing your DNA and will soon be outlawed in the European Union. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? And, Schrock Innovations. That's pretty crazy, too. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next week.
From the Amish Furniture of Nebraska studio, your home for made in the USA furniture.